Pashas Mishpatim, Tafshin Pei Hey. I'm gonna give a different share than usual. I'm gonna go very down to earth, very practical, and people are gonna understand the current events, especially those who learn Shabbos, should be understanding the clear Remazim. I say clear Remazim because I make it half clear. And what's the path? What Chazal say, how we have to behave, what do we have to do, and so forth. Let's go into the psukim. I'm just going to take a very short thing on the psukim. The share is long, so I go share. Okay. We're talking, so the Torah is going to have Eile HaMishpatim. We know that the HaMishpat leLoikim hu HaMishpat. There's only one justice, not the justices. Mishpatim means justices. We know that Mishpat, I'm going to give you this as a Agdama to the Shir. We know that Mishpat equals 429, equals 3 times the 3 Dayanim, 3 times Kamag, which is equal to, 3 times, for those who are not familiar with this, Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey. These are the shemes that judge the person. This is the mishpat. Now, they are shalem, they are complete, these dayanim. Why? Because Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey equals 143. Equals Kel, for the line on the right side, the chesed. Yud Ke Vav Ke for the middle line, for Rachamim, and Elohim for the left side. So you see that each dayan has within him the 3 lines. Chesed is not biased. A biased dayan is a dayan that's missing one of these shemes. He heard beforehand the tainus. He's going to be missing something. That's the mishpat. So we're starting be'eile ha-mishpatim, but they cannot be mishpatim. It has to be only one mishpat. And here we're going to bring the dinim of taking advantage. So to give you an answer in a nutshell here, we have 2 types of mishpat. We have the one that a person, the mitzvahs that are relatable to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and the mitzvahs that are that relatable to another Jew. These are the mishpatim. They are separated. And here in Parshas Mishpatim, we're going to talk a lot of Ben Adam Lachavero, not to talk to a ger in a way that can upset him. Feeling that you're not one of us and so forth. But I'm going to zoom in onto something that's going to enlighten us all this part of Ben Adam Lachavero and give us a huge lesson. Kol almana veyasoim, every widow and orphan, lo yise'anun. Don't upset them. Don't make them suffer. No matter what, for any reason. Im ane se'ane oisoi. And we're going to start talking in double language from now on. Im ane se'ane oisoi. We need explanation on this. Well, why do I need the double language? But I understand. We'll see. Im ane se'ane oisoi, if you upset him, if you make him suffer. Ki im sa'oik yitzak elai. Ki im, I don't know how to translate this in the pasuk here. We'll see how to translate that. If he screams, scream to me, double scream, apparently. Shamoya eshma. Okay, even the hearing is going to be double. Tza'akosoi. First of all, the problem in this pasuk, we're talking about almana v'yasam, a widow and an orphan. This is plural. Why do you write im ane se'ane oisoi? You should have said im ane se'ane oisam. Ki im tzoik it's aku elai. Now all of a sudden, so who are we talking about here? We forget about one of them. I mean, the pasuk just went to tell us that the true punishment is only if it's one of them, but it's not clear. You said at the beginning, you go from Lashon Rabim, you're talking plural, lo se'anun. You had no problem talking plural. Now, if you anyway do it, so it says, im anesane oisam. Shamoy eshmat kasam. So how can the whole pasuk forgets about the subject we're talking about? Now, Kadosh Baruch Hu says a terrible pasuk. V'chara api. I will get very angry. V'harakti eschem b'charev. Whoa. This is a lav. Kol almana v'yasam loy se'anun. It's a lav. Why is it din nefashes here? You can't tell me that he's going to be liable of death for being over on a lav. A lav is a lav. You can't take it to another level. A lav is malchus. A lav is a punishment. Okay, because it's almana v'yasam. Go ahead a little bit more. And it's not only this. The pasuk says, "Vehayu nesheichem almonos." Your wives will become widows. Uvneichem yesoimim, and your children will be orphans. 1 second. If the wives are widows, is there a possibility that the children are not orphans? So Rashi explains B'Shem the Mechilta, on Mechilta the Rebbe Shem Bar Yochai on Pasuk Chav Beis, very clear that this Mechilta this week. It says, there's a few halachas. I'm going to explain you this in a little bit. Stop sharing. 2 points I'm going to explain you as an introduction to the shiur. So there are halachas. If someone chas v'shalom in Eben Ezer falls in the ocean, and we don't find the body. And people so. Yes, obviously we know he's dead, but he's not dead enough in order to permit his wife to remarry. She's going to remain almana, asura to remarry for her whole entire life. That's HaKadosh Baruch Hu's doing. That's not us to judge. The second thing is the children, the Beis Din will prevent them from accessing the Yerusha because we don't know that the father is dead. We're not allowed to divide it amongst the children. As long as there's no edim that we saw the body and he's dead, or a guy comes say that I buried him, or Beis Din, he's not dead. The same way there are passages in the ocean with current that people can be saved somewhere else. You could be on an island, as far as we know, in Beis Din. We need HaKadosh Baruch Hu only gave us koyach to assert something like this and allow the children or the wife to remarry only if we have edim. Besides that, it means HaKadosh Baruch Hu kept the din. He didn't want it to be down there. Look how far the punishment goes. You're going to ask me, why What have they done, these children? What have they done, these wives? He's the one who misbehaved. Let him carry his own punishment. But what has she done? It's a very heavy midrash in Pashas Vayigash, Midrash Tanchuma. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu was about to give the Torah, he asked Bnei Yisrael, give me a guarantor. Said the others, not taking it. Then the schools, not taking them. They take it short. They said our children. Hashem said, that's a good guarantor. When a person is over to a certain level, he accepts his children. And that's the danger. When a person makes a neder or is over on something that is to the level of the neder, the guarantor is his wife. Why should your couch be taken from under you? It's your wife. When a person makes a neder to the Sefer Torah, to the this, I'm going to give money to the aniyim and this, and he's not paying, he's endangering his wife. Said the pasuk. It's better not to promise rather than promising and not paying. That's where we are. But now we have someone who's going to die becharev. So I explained the death in the ocean. But if he dies becharev, there's witnesses. We were at war, and another soldier is going to see him. Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to make him go. Mechilta say go into another land, and he's going to be killed becharev if he deserves, because they're much worse deaths. But I can't make all the shiurim at once. But this you needed to make this shiur. The what the Midrash Agadol, what the Mechilta say about, and how the medagdek in the pasuk. If he's really a tzaddik and he did that, that's the way he's going to die. But if he's a rasha and he did that, he's not dying with a cherv. He's dying with a terrible misa. Let's start going right now. We understand that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is requesting from us to support the needy, to support the broken, to support the one who needs support. It doesn't matter who they are. We learn in the Mechilta, kol almana. What's kol? Even if she is the queen and her husband was lost, she lost her husband. The loss itself, it creates a vacuum here that always she's drawn to it, to this tsar. And it doesn't matter which person. A person who has that tsar, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, you must have. Let's build it up, understanding that that's what the Torah here orders, what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants from us, and how to perform it. And what otherwise, which is the most important part of the shiur, understanding, hopefully I'll be able to get there, but understanding what's on the other side. There's a lot of details in the shiur because these mitzvahs rebuild a person from bottom to top. In other words, the Zohar says if a person is giving tzedakah, has rachmanus on the ani, and he supports him, and he supports him with very nicely, gently welcoming him, and no, you're not a burden, in contrary, and so forth. This person is Zoiche of the Tselem Eloikim. The Tselem Eloikim is your appearance, your spiritual appearance around you. You don't see it because you're limited by the body, which is darkness, but the choshech, so we can't see. We'll understand very soon every word because today is fundamental. We're going to have a lot of fundamentals, and it's all regrouped in that shiur, so I have to explain them. So the person has a tselem Eloikim. In other words, the same way you behave with the other is to that level you're rewarded. Since you're saving him from death, you're saving him from tsar. What's the gematria of tsar? 360. How you mevatel it? 5 times chesed. So you're doing it fully. You're trying to be mevatel his tsar. You're getting it too. So at that point, what is the tselem doing? When a person goes to the mikveh, and the tselem, because has holes and patches and everything, and the name on top by the forehead is not complete. So when you go to the mikveh, it rewashes, all the tuma, and the person comes out clean, and the name Yud Ke Vav Ke, Yud Vav Dalet, Hey Aleph, Gematria 45, Adam, we don't see it, but the nefesh of the person across from us sees it. Animals see it. Once the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey, is complete on the tselem, they fear us. Otherwise, they don't fear us. Like by Cain, when he lost the tselem because he killed his brother, automatically animals would have eaten him alive. First animals. They see him as food because he doesn't have a tselem. That's how animals don't recognize human. They see a tselem. They see a nefesh. Once they see a nefesh, they know we're talking about a human. I want to explain what is this tselem according to the Ari HaKadosh. Because the tselem is what is written on Oishana Rabbah. So the Ari HaKadosh in Priyetz Chaim, in Drusha Sukkos, those who want to look, is Drush Zion, explains exactly what is the tselem. We have in Shir HaShirim, forgot the pasuk. I was not ready to say that pasuk in the shir. Maybe someone can help me. It says, like it comes the evening, venatu hatzelalim, and the tselalim, it's not selem. It doesn't say tslamim. Tselalim. A person has one tselem. Tselem means the image. So you have a spiritual image of you that looks exactly like your body. And you have 2 that are they don't look like you. They're just basically surrounding you. So a person has 3 protections. 2 tslalim and 1 tslalim. And these are the sign venot. So when he says, like when the evening approaches and the tslalim, the shadows start moving, it really talks about, one of the explanation of the pasuk is when a person comes to the end of his life, in the last 30 days, the tslalim are going away, and he knows it. And since you remove, since they're being removed from in front of his eyes, he starts seeing a lot more. He starts seeing a lot thing that a normal person doesn't see. Let's put it that way. And he start knowing he can talk, but he knows that his end is very near. His end is beginning, whatever you want to call it. So these three slalim come from the three names. I want to show you this. Once you need to know that. So we have three shemes in the Bina. It says in the pasuk, "Vayivra Elokim es Adam betzalmoi." Betzelem Elokim. Tselem is from Elokim. This is fundamental to understand for this year. Fundamental. How a person is created. How many parts we have in us. And we're going to see the role they're playing. So we have Aleph, Hey, Yud, K. If I take it in the other page, people are going to know it better on this one. Kasa, we have Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey. This is the Tselem. This is the Tselem Elokim. Then we have the Kamag, Aleph, Hey, Yud, Hey. This is a Tzlal, Tzlalim. These two are Tzelalim. So this is, in other words, the Bina is surrounding the person. The names of the Bina are surrounding the person. The main one, the most powerful one that saves us is this one. And the other two are not as powerful. Okay? Now that we said that. If I shorten the thing on Dariakolis, because I see the time flying, the first one has a name, Tselem. The second one is Betzel Kehye. It's the Tzlal. It's not Tselem, it's missing the Vav, the Mem. And the third one, it's Sel Kel. That's their names. If you're taking the three names of the Bina, Dari explained it a different way. Me, I like to explain things through numbers. 455 equals, this is 454 plus the Koil. That's all. You know, the three names of the Bina are around a person. Now, they have the power you give them. They were given to us. In fully charged, and with our actions, we have either enhanced the charge or decreased the charge. That's the way it works with a person. But a person should say he's fully protected. He has nothing to fear from others. He has a Tselem Elokim. He has a Tzel called Betzel Keye, in the shadow of Keye of the Bina, and the Tzel Kel from the Chasadim. He has nothing to fear. If you take the Shadim, a shade equal 3 or 4, right? Equal Kasa Kamag. Only these two names, the Shadim have these two names. So that's why they're spiritual. They don't have a body because they're missing the third one. Now you know where the third one is coming from. The body, what's the source of the body? The body comes from this name. This name is what made the body, and we have and also acts as a protection to the body. The Shadim are missing that name, therefore they cannot have a body. Because now we have a body, we are limited in our vision in the future. We are limited in our understanding because we have a part which is dark, the body, to contain the light. But these guys that do not have a body, that's the reason they can see in the future. That now, when When a person helps a poor, give tzedakah, the Ari HaKadosh says he is saved from two deaths. Tzedakah tatzil mimaves. Okay? Tzedakah saves from death. It says once, right? He's not becoming an ani. What's the second one the Zohar says? Whenever the Midas Adin is about to come and slam that person with a tremendous punishment, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends a court to his door in order for him to be zoiche through tzedakah to be mevatel the din. Again, I'm going to show you in the words of the pasuk, be more understandable. It says in the pasuk in Mishlei, Lo yoil hoin b'yom evra. Money, wealth doesn't help when there's a day of anger. When the mashchis is out, you can have as much money as you want. It's not going to help you. Utzedakah tatzil mimaves. Only tzedakah can save from death. Says the Ari HaKadosh, here you have one maves. So where is the second? The second is here. One maves, two maves. In other words, don't take the pasuk literally that the only, no. It saves from the second mavis, which is considered anius. A person who gives tzedakah has a haftacha. All the Sfarim Magdoshim bring, he will never become poor, ever from tzedakah. Tzedakah and becoming poor, no connection. Supporting someone in need is the cry of the Torah to show us that we are one, all of us. A person who makes individualities, like the goyim, like I'm in the whatever group or the Lions, whatever. You see in New Jersey, they have these, this group, and this guy's in this group, and this guy's in a royal thing, and this guy in a whistling thing. Everybody is into a group. No, that's not what we are. In the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there's no difference. Says the Arachaim HaKadosh, mamish on the parasha, on this pasuk. HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw that because of what happened to the ani in the previous Gilgal, you can't give him parnasa in that Gilgal. He was a asher that had no mercy on the poor people. So he has to become poor. That's a din. So he comes back in Gilgal as a poor. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu has rachmanus on him. So he takes his chelek of parnasa, he gives it to the asher as a pikavim. It's not the asher's money. It's the ani's money, but it's by the asher. So when this ani keeps on coming to the asher can feel, you know what? I've been helping this guy. I'm doing for him and everything. So you allow yourself, you moire hater, to sometimes use words that could hurt you, that could belittle. And that is the downfall. That's a huge downfall. These are the mishpatim. You have a mishpat for someone who normal and everything and going to Gan Eden after he did mitzvahs this and mitzvah that. The Satan will come person says, you know what, I want to take upon myself to help the almanis and the yesoimim, he has to know the Sultan will dance at a time he's expecting the least. And he's going to make one of the yesoimim be rude to him. And you're going to respond. Im ane se ane oisoi. If each of these suffering people is a ben yachid to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who is the one, Avi Yesoimim V'dayan Almanos, the father, because he's a father to each one of them as if they were ben yachid. Im ane se ane oisoi. Who is oisoi? HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Im ane se ane oisoi. Him. HaKadosh Baruch Hu yume'ane. It's a huge subject. Just wanted to give you a little bit of insight to give you a guideline here. Says the Rama Mipano in Chikordin. You answer the Yosem? Great. Hidevar Hashem Boza. You have been mevaze to no Menachem? How can you say mevaze in English?
Embarrassed.
Embarrassed. You embarrass the word of Hashem. The whole pasuk is, I don't know if I wrote it, but it's kedai to see it because you're going to see similarities. You know, the Rama Mipano and Chikodin answers very shortly, but here it is. Min Hashem. Hidvar Hashem Baza. He embarrassed, he shamed. That's the right word. He shamed the word of Hashem. That's mitzvasoi heifar. And he reneged his order, the mitzvah, to Hikares tikares hanefesh hahi. What's hikares tikares? Again, double language. Hikares in this world, tikares in olam haba. Finished. Let's understand here. What was we asked before, it was only a love. So why are you so stringent in the din? Let's understand what means the word of Hashem. This equals 232. Should I keep on? Or you guys know the answer? Ab, Sag, Ma, Ben. The four names in the Chochmah. Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey. Yud, in the Chochmah, Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey of the Bina. Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey of the 6 meters of the Chochmah. Yud, Hey, Vav, Hey of the Malchus. This is Dvar Hashem. All these names, he was mevaze these names. Automatically, he doesn't have shining upon him. Because if the Chachma is not shining on the Bina to be able to give the Shefa to Kodesh Baruch Hu, to pass it to the Malchus, to pass it to that person, there's nothing. He's finished. He's finished. Hikares. Whenever you have mois, yumas, means in both worlds. Hikares, both worlds. Why? It's the Onesh is terrible, I understand. But how can someone that acts as a father and a husband to an almana, to the yesoimim, he comes every night, he does homework with them, he learns with them, and he just had that moment. in that moment hurt. As Rashi explains, it's in the Mechilta also. No, I'm gonna give you the pshat of the Al-Sheikh HaKadosh. Because we're gonna take a shortcut. The Al-Sheikh HaKadosh explains that whenever you hurt these people, right away, naturally, the way out of the tsar is the almana. If my husband would have been here, he would have defended me. This would have never happened. You know, nobody would have dared talk to me like this or treat me like this if my husband would. She has double tsar. The tsar of the words, and the tsar, says the Al-Sheikh HaKadosh, she feels the loss of her husband again. You basically awakening the pain of the loss. HaKadosh Baruch Hu will not forgive for that. That's im ane se ane oisoy. Selga Sheikh HaKadosh, it's double pain. But the way we learn it with the Rama Mipanoi is the Vashem Baza. It's the oisoy HaKadosh Baruch Hu. When someone embarrasses or hurts, shames, chas v'shalom, a yosaim, he cries. Why? Because the wave of the pain is so big on him, because it reminds him now also of the loss of his father. If I had a father like everybody, they would have never dared do that. This would have never happened. Now you make him feel again the dramatic loss of his father. This HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to forgive. The Zera Shimshon, I know I don't bring him very often, has a very good shot on something, but I think I'm going to be choilet on the end a little bit. It's not that I deserve chas v'sham. I'm just going with a different shot. I didn't understand, his last portion. Promised by me, not by chas v'sham in his words. In Pashas Korach, he analyzes the psukim by Yaakov Moshe by Yelech el Dasan va'Avira. They started already their revolt, and Moshe Rabbeinu, despite that, went to Korach and talk shalom with Dasan va'Avira and Korach. The Gemara in Sanhedrin, Kuf Yud, I think it's Amud Aleph, says, from there you learn what the machlokes do, and you're not allowed to be a side of the machlokes. From the law, you're not allowed. Tells you there's a law here. Don't be like Korach. Says the Zera Shimshon from here. Something so yesoidik, it screams to Shema, up to Shemaim. There is a machlokes. People make a machlokes with you. You're not allowed to be in return about machlokes. You're not allowed to lower yourself at their level and create a machlokes. This is where the love is. Them, they've been over already. There's nothing we can do. Korach is going to meet his fate. Dasan va'Aviram are going to meet their fate. They started a pirud in the Yud Kei Vav Kei by creating a pirud down here. They're done. They're finished. Now, what's in the balance is the target. Moshe Rabbeinu. V'lo yihyeh kekorach v'cha'adaseh. Moshe Rabbeinu went back the next day. He tried to see if he could talk to them, to calm down, if he could talk shalom to them. They didn't want. At that point, you're still not going. You're going to hit, but you're not going into the machlokes. You're not letting your emotions, become, you don't let yourself become a behemoth. Says the Zera Shimshon, the Chutz Yagel Aleinu, he should have aliyah just for the words that he taught us here, that so yesoidi. When a person is hurting another person, is disrespecting, is using harsher words. The Tselem Eloikim that's on that person. Would you throw a sefer or disrespect a sefer that has the Torah? Would you disrespect? You don't like a chumash, you put in the shemis because he has the Shem Hashem. He needs to have respect. A person is a walking sefer. A person is part of what we call the tzura, the shape, Knesset Yisrael. You feel as a Yevani, as a Rasha Merusha, that it shouldn't exist, it shouldn't have, it should. You trespassed from the world of human, that you're walking bathroom, and now you go into the celestial world, Terakadosh Baruch Hu, what's supposed to be done and not done, under false pretense. You've been over on erasing the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. For that, Dari HaKadosh, the Chaim HaKadosh brings it clearly, so I don't have to go in the Parsha. This person is putting himself out in this world, no Olam Haba, and no Tchias Ameis. And we'll see what happens to him then. Where is he going? What is his Nefesh Ruach Neshama? Where is he going? Why? Because he had inflicted a level of disrespect to the Yudke Vavke, which is on the Tselem Eloikim, he didn't respect it. At that point, his life is free. China, his thumb is China. He's a roidef. He doesn't know already. He left the road. He feels he's going high still. Yeah, with the speed you took in the mountain, you missed the turn. You're still flying high. But look down under your feet. There's no more soil. There's no more earth. There's no more nothing. It's the cliffs. You're going down to Nukva de Tehoimar Rabba. That's where you're going. Worse than someone that went with the Eshesish. Worse. This one has a ticker. This one has no ticker. So once the Zera Shimshon, don't go down at his level, because you're also going to disrespect his Tzelem Eloikim. And you don't want to end up, so this is an Isayan for you. You have to understand it's an Isayan. Keep your mind together and fight this and elevate yourself, and don't become a Baal Machlokes, because you're going to lose your Tzelem Eloikim. With that part, I have a huge problem. And I'm going to prove it. The Mishnah says in Sanhedrin, Perek Vav, Mishnah Hey, Omar Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir says, Rabbi Meir Balanes, when a person has a tsar, what is the Shechina Kabiyachol says? Kalani Miroishi, Kalani Mizroi. They belittle me from my head and from my arm. The Rambam explains that this was a saying they used to say when they had Tsar in that time. But each time has a different way of saying, so that's what the Shechina says. The Mishnah keeps on and say, if the Shechina has tsar for Rishaim that being killed, Kol Sheken, when the blood of tzaddikim is being spilled. In other words, you can see from the Mishnah itself that crossing a bridge, every person is a world. Stay in your world. Stay in your world. Shevu ish tachta. A person should sit under himself. It's Arba Amos. That's all we have, and that's all we take from this earth. Arba Amos. The Arba Amos we're going to live in, are the Arba Amos we're going to be buried in. Period. We think it's an imagination that we can conquer. We don't conquer. Whatever Hashem wants to give us and what it's achedek is going to give us. Arba Amos, if you make the gematria, is 720, 10 times chesed. You see, all the chasadim that a person needs in his life, your 10 chasadim are down here, the 5 for this world and the 5 for the next world. They're all here on the yud. Now you waste your time going around and spinning around. Okay, it's your choice. You want to waste time. The pasuk says in Bereshis, "Seifech dam ha'adam," the one who spilled the blood of a person, ba'adam damoy yishafech. With the person, his blood will be spilled. We explained this in a shiur. I'm going very quick on this, just to prove you my point on because we in the tzelem of the person that talks. In other words, shoifech dam ha'adam, a person, even if it's not, okay, let's take really, someone killed his friend, they go in din in Shamayim, they have to come down, the murdered has to kill the murderer in order to even it up. Shoifech dam ha'adam, the murderer who spilled the blood of a person, Adam gematria Yud Kei Vav Kei, so he erased the name Yud Kei Vav Kei, is only tikkun if the other one accepts to go back down to the world and to kill him. The same way he was killed, he will kill him. That's the tikkun of a murderer. Otherwise, the Hoima Rabbah, that's where he's going. In other words, we see that someone that infringed those isurim, that transgressed those isurim, he has no more tzelem Elohikim. He becomes a behemoth. So how can you, Zera Shimshon, tell me that the Nelav, the one who was taken advantage, that was shamed, cannot shame back someone else? For sure he can, because he has a behemoth in front of him. In other words, we learn from here that the nefesh ruach neshama dikdusha, when someone shames a friend, that's what the Kodesh says, the Zohar says this, they're leaving him. Instead, is receiving nefesh ruach of the Sitra Achra. In other words, he became a chasicha de Yisur. Part, he became a chelek of the realm of the darkness. He has no tzelem. Why would you tell me that if I go back at him, I'm losing it? Let me explain you what I think is the finesse is hinting here. Prior to this, because now we're getting into the interesting part. Prior to this, I would like to give you another introduction, so you'll understand a lot better, and you're going to have now a big image in front of your eyes. What was the reason, since he started with Korach, let's stay with Korach. What was the reason of the revolt of Korach? Let's forget about the images and the little thing. Let's go deep. Let's go inside. Ki chol ha'eda kulam kedoshim. The whole Ada of the Bnei Israel is one, and they're all kedoshim. We then don't need, we all even. Umadua tisnasu al kehal Hashem. He called them Ada, he called them kehal Hashem after that. Why did you have to raise yourself upon them? You claiming HaKadosh Baruch Hu told you to be it, told you to be the leader, told you to give us these mitzvahs, all kind of mitzvahs. The mitzvah, and interestingly, now I remember a midrash in my head. Interestingly, the example Korach gave to entice the other people, because always when there's a revolt, there's something dramatic happening in Am Yisrael, you always start with one Russia. There's one Russia at the bottom of all this. You have to find him. You have to be able to pinpoint him. He's the one. So now the one that we're enticed, we're not good people because they deserve to go down that path. But the main Russia is always one. How did he entice them? With a story on an almana. She had a field, and that was it. And she had her daughters, and from that field they used to work hard and gain the parnasa. Very interesting that in a thing, and I'm giving the same example. Listen to this. When the was time of harvest, they harvested, come the Kohanim, the Aaron says, you have to give me the Truma. The Levim comes, so the part of the children of Aaron, which were not Kohanim, you have to give us a Trumas Meiser. He says, come on, I'm having nothing left. Between the Payah, between the this, between the that, I have nothing left. She says, you know what? I'm going to sell my field, and I am going to buy goats and get the milk, and from the milk come the sons of Aaron. You have to give us the 10th of all the birth, the first giza when you shear them, and so forth. She says she couldn't anymore, and he said, I'm going to shech them because otherwise I'm not going to. So she goes to shechet, they shech them. Come the son of Aaron. You have to give, Aaron comes, you have to give us the part, the chayayim, the keva, that goes to the Kohen. He says, are they going to make my life miserable all the time? Now, I know he looks someone who falls for the story, kind of enlighten himself. Well, at the end of the day, she's got something, she's got a tiner. You bums. They're in the midbar. They have fields. You can see it's a lie. The story of Korach is a lie from the beginning to the end. It's only a pathway, a bridge, in order to get to the people and get to the nasty side and inflame it. That's all it is. So they say, all the mitzvahs you gave us are fake mitzvahs. Your brother should not be given anything, let him go to work, let him go do this, let him go do that. And the same way you imposed yourself on the Bnei Israel, and it was not from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the same way all the mitzvahs you ordered us. Say, so many mitzvahs, what do we need that for? Vayipoil Moshe alpana. I can tell you, Kehal Hashem equals 161. What he hinted, they have a tzelem Elohim, so we follow the path of what we're saying. Every Jew, a tzaddik has a tzelem Elohim. A Rasha doesn't have a tzelem Elohim. A person, it's also to be killed only because he has a tzelem Elohim. He has the Yud Ke Vav Ke on him. When it's gone, it's chinam, blood. So here, Moshe falls on his face. The Gemara says in Sanhedrin that he heard something. Mashmu Hashama, Vayishma Moshe, Vayipoil Alpana. What means Vayishma Moshe? He heard. He heard that they suspected him of Eshesish. Vaikanu leMoshe b'machane, says David HaMelech in Tehillim. They all jealous their wives from Moshe Rabbeinu. Like Moshe, is it possible that Moshe Rabbeinu will, even if he chas v'sham, a person, he's not straight and he's going with married women. I mean, how many? Do you think all the women of the minister will accept to go with him? It's a mishigas. If you have one in the whole Am Yisrael, it's already a lot. Vaikanu leMoshe b'machane. Gemara says they choshed him from Eshesish, each one with his wife. Are they nuts? Is the Gemara talking to us here? Really? How do we learn the Gemara? It's not the Ben Ish Chai. It's who says it? Let me see. I don't remember who says what I'm going to say. It's a midrash. It's a midrash rabbi in Vayikra. Anyone who's trying to impose himself on the Bnei Yisrael, you can be assured that he's going to be nichshal in Eshesish. This came to teach us that someone that want to impose himself, he's done it or he will do it. And there's nothing like arayos to remove the tshuva, to remove the kedusha, sorry. That's the midrash. There's nothing like arayos to remove. If I would go deeper, every little subject here, I can explain it to you through 10 different forms. This one I will explain it to you. Because you have to be able not to be scared to judge with your mind. Sometimes events are shocking you. Sometimes, but you become a prey. You are in danger when your mind is in shock. Why? Because then you lost the biggest asset you have, and you're only left with your emotions in order to judge what reaction you should have. But once you have the knowledge, automatically you understand that this doesn't shock you. You know exactly what the forces are and who comes against you. And where are the simanim? So even if you didn't learn the Aracham on Parshas, on Parshas Yisroi, to learn, the simanim of the face, there are hints in the Torah that tell us where a person stands. And it's so obvious to the eye, sometimes you don't even have words to be able to explain to someone who doesn't understand. It's so obvious to the eye, that it's, exactly where we're standing here. We understand exactly what the koiches here are going. And you know how we need to react or not to react. When Yosef HaTzadik, he had two opportunities that we see to just act normally, go with the flow. He became king. It's a tremendous news. Now he can tell his father, I'm alive. Why let his father suffer and not tell him, I'm alive? Save a little bit of, at the end of the day, his brothers, I'm going to use the rationals here. Oh, you're going to tell me his brothers are going to be ashamed? Yeah, let them be. It's their own making. His father is a victim. Why should I let the victim suffer because the perpetrators are going to be ashamed? But Yosef HaTzadik didn't do it. What do you learn? What do you learn from this? Even in Russia, Mevase. Because they did it. They're not Reshaim, Chas V'Shalom, the shifted car. They did it with the right mind. There is a full rationals behind what they've done. And Yosef HaTzadik understood. And rather than letting his emotions take over him, he kept with his mind. I am not allowed to be Mevase any Yid. Why? Because this is a Pgima in the Tselem Eloikim on which there is a Yudke Vavke, and for this there is no recourse, not in this world, not in next world, and there's no Tchias HaMeisim. Yosef HaTzadik didn't do it. Second time, Yosef HaTzadik is about to reveal himself to his brothers. Vayomer hotziu kol ish me'alai. Take everyone out from the room. Why? Because he couldn't contain himself. He didn't want people seeing. Besides that, I'm sure, I don't know if it's in this shiur, I gave it. There was no mitzvah there. It was malachim. Even malachim, he took them out. Which you call ish. So everyone had to be taken out of the room. And he told them, I'm just expanding on this just because I know Jeff is hanging by my words right now here. Speaking by Yosef in the middle of mishpatim. Wow. So I'm going to keep on saying this the whole midrash. He says, guys, I bought Yosef ben Yaakov. And he started calling Yosef ben Yaakov, come here. Yosef ben Yaakov, come here. And they all turn around. See, where is he? He said, where are you looking? He said, I don't know, you called him. We were looking if he's coming. He says, you're not looking right. He's in front of you. At that moment, they died. The neshama went out. That's the lashon of the midrash. Again, you see how much effort even Yosef, under every rational, he is the victim. He made in order because he knew that what they have done was Leshem Shammai. The third example we have, and that's going to enlighten us in this Inyan, and we're going to go a little bit deeper after that, is somewhere when Yehuda, she was brought. Okay, it's very difficult Inyan. We're just going to brush it off like this. He says, take her out and burn her on the stake. She sent the psilim, the tzitzis, the mate to Yehuda. She told him, Hakerna, please recognize. What do you mean, please recognize? It means, if you don't recognize, I will get burned, but I will not shame you. The Gemara learns, I think it's the Gemara in Soita this. Yes. It's better for a person to be thrown into a fire than shaming someone else. You see to what extent the Torah went into a chumrah, erasing the name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, how stringent it is. if you take, just for you to have an image and close that in and understand, fully that this foundation, because I'm just at the foundation, to be honest. I'm just the beginning of this year. Kiv Shana Esh equals 678. 678. And Erva in Bemilu equals 678. A person, in other words, if you don't go down that path like the Avos HaKadoshim showed us, the other side, what it is, Erva. A person who comes and says, I am it, even though he's not it, even though he's an ignorance, to a point where, I don't know how people don't see it, but, and he wants to lead, and he wants to enforce, and I am and I have power. You have nothing. You are arriving, my friend, to your own end. I can help you. Make it easy on you. But not everybody agrees, so we stay aside. People don't understand. They think we live. We can only... I'm not going there, because I'm going to say something I don't want to say. You have to understand that nobody has an insurance, has a parachute, or has anything. We are all facing HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and we are all facing the chiyuv on one hand, the purpose of our coming to this world, to be mekadesh Shem Shamayim, and avoid at any cost and give our life for Chilul Hashem. That's all. When it comes to hurt someone, so there's different levels. When a person, and now I'm going to explain the Zera Shimshon, what I believe he said. Because the Chida HaKodesh in Midbar Demas brings down that Chesed Abraham, his great-grandfather, brings it down, we into a world where there's a lot of influx, and they learned it from different, each one brings his raya and whatever, but I'm giving you a path. We go through mountains here. When a person belittles you, shames you, whatever, it's not pleasant. For sure it's not pleasant. It's even worse than not pleasant. But however, you have a choice here. Yeah, you can respond. The guy has no tzelem Elokim. You can belittle him, you can bury him, you can, he's chayav misa no matter what. He's chayav kares, he kares, the kares. It's finished in both worlds. But you keep quiet. You don't become a Baal Machlikas. Says the Chida HaKadosh, this is when all the mitzvahs that he has done, you take them, and all the averos you have done, he takes them. To the point, when the neshama goes to Shamayim, he says, at that time it's only emes. The neshama says, I didn't do that mitzvah. He said, Hashem, don't worry, my son. It's your mitzvah. This one there, when he shamed you, you took all his mitzvahs. That person that has shamed a Jew, that has spoken to Jew about, even with one person, not only saying in a vad, in a thing, in a that, and spreading fake rumors about, kindness and everything. It's all shtusim v'havalim. He wouldn't stand, someone who comes from a frum family and has learned a few years in cheder, he would pass that test. He would be able to answer all these fake rationals. When you have this in front of you, you're looking at a path where you have light on one side. HaKadosh Baruch Hu decided that he's going to give you a lot more then you have done it. In the truth, at the end, you have to be able to read it as you have been rewarded a tremendous amount of mitzvahs, and you've been clean from all your averos. All your Gehinnom is gone. Now you're going to tell me, so, but they're still going to remain frum and everything. And so what's going to happen to these people? He shamed the Nalmona. He shamed the Yosan. Says the Chesed, the Zohar HaKodesh. I'm going to bring it from the source. Says the Zohar HaKodesh. David HaMelech says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says to the person, why do you learn my Torah? Why? Because all the merits of the learning goes only to the Sitra Achra. You burying yourself actually right now. Why? Because you already desecrated something very important to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You created. So at that point, this person will never see the light. The shiur, which is the malchus, is close to him. Ze hashar Hashem, tzadikim yavodu. Only for tzadikim he opens up. But for Reshaim, it's totally closed. Especially from Reshaim on that side. The Zohar HaKodesh reveals that person will become a ruach ra, an evil spirit. That's all he's going to become. He's going to suffer under the hand of the Sitra Achra for eternity. And when will come the time of Geula Shleima, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu will shech the Sitra Achra, he will die forever at that time. He will cease to exist, even as a Ruach Ra. But he will never, there is no takana for such a chet. Why would someone wants to go? That's why we say the mishpatim, the mishpat toward HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you become a Hezbollah, or now because I'm learning a thing, the Arabs and the Shecht people. No, my friend. There's two mishpat, they're connected into one. And if you don't accomplish the second one, the first one is worthless. The most important one is the one how you behave. This is where the shemes of the Bina are. This is where you have your tzelem Eloikim. This is where you have to respect, to show that you have true respect for the name of Hashem. Because you don't see it. You see a guy that bugged you. And you want to go back at him. And you refrain from going back at him. At that point, why you refrain when you have to put in your mind only for tzelem Eloikim? And you did not do it. The schus you have at that point is a schus of Kiddush Shem Shamayim in the Olam Yisrael. But if Chaz v'Shalom, you let your emotion overcome you, and you're acting with your emotions, and you go and you say, you know what, it's not right, because I'm an American, an American goes like this, an American goes like this. Yevanim, he goes like this, and Yevanim is like this. Yeah, keep on going. I'm going to tell you where the Yevanim end. They end in the Nukva de Tehoima Rabbah, in the 8th level of the Gehinnom, in the Kafa Kela, in the Tzoyer Rosachas. I'm not translating those words. In the Tzoyer Rosachas, someone wants to know what's happening to these Neshamas. We have to give a private share, not in public. But what he's going to endure is huge. Before he becomes an evil spirit, he's going to endure tremendous suffering. One suffering I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to stop on this. Every morning, the 3 malachim rhyme, 3 evil angels on him, hitting him, not letting him rest, nothing. He can't rest at night. He can't rest from the weather. He's not allowed to go into anybody. He's not allowed to go into an animal to take shelter, nothing. He's exposed to all the, it's like going into a riot in the middle and you have people knifing and this and that, and you get cut from this one and that. Don't let him rest. Every morning he has to go to the forest. He has to pick up wood. He has to carry the wood, and he has to be a wood with pricks. It's all an image. You have to understand what's behind the image. He carries it on his shoulder, and he pricks him. He pricks, so he feels worse than if he would prick his own flesh. He put the stack, he lights it up, and he goes on it and get burned, becomes ashes. Then we take the ashes the next day, they make him again another thing. And here, the cycle repeats itself, repeat itself, repeat itself, repeat. Can you believe, just from one thing, the fact that he prefers to be burned than getting out, what's the suffering these evil angels are making him suffer? That he'd rather have this respite becoming burned. And the feeling, if you think because we went to the other side, we have no feeling, in contrary, it's an exponential of what we have here. So a person should be smart when this is a tremendous nisayon to be masit, am Yisrael, and everything. It's kekoirach ve'adosoi, and we have to act like Moshe Rabbeinu. But at one point is vatiftach haaretz es piha vatoichal oisam v'es'alem v'eskol shalahem, and you will see it with your eyes. HaKadosh Baruch Hu won't let go of the covet of Am Yisrael, and on the shemis of the Tzlamim, the Tselem of the Yisrael, where he signed his name, we have to take it. Yes, it seems they win the battle, they win nothing. They're digging their hole. When the seah is full, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is taking over. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu, amen v'amen.
Shkaya.
But here, told you it will be a different shiur.
It was very different.
Who's speaking here?
Menachem.
No, but before